What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. We are in episode 53. Or should I say season 2, episode 3.
Episode 3. Yeah. You can pull it that way too. Hey, let's break it down. It's cool. We hit that threshold. You know what I'm saying? We hit that benchmark. We gold now.
Yeah. In another 5-6 years, it'll be season 3 before y'all know it. You know what I'm saying?
That is wild, right? What, 3-4 years for one season?
Man, you know, life getting away. We still smoking cigars, though.
I was about to say, we still keeping them cigars up. That's what matters, man. That's what matters.
That's right.
Hey, man, so it's episode...
We got his number 53.
Yeah, I was ready to get right into it. So we got 2 choices. We can go Mark Eaton. No. We got 3 choices. We go Mark Eaton. We can go James Edwards. Bad Boys Pistons. Come on. Or we can go Daryl Dawkins.
My third choice.
Daryl Dawkins.
Or Daryl Dawkins? Well, you know it's got to be Daryl, because I was close to going Mark Eaton.
over James Edwards?
Yeah, Eaton was on the Jazz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
he wasn't the bad boy. He was on the Jazz. Come on, man. Come on.
I know.
The Jazz.
I know.
You gonna pick?
I was torn, man.
A Jazz player over a bad boy? Historical?
It was 2 franchises that, you know, have just been a thorn and a pain in my rear for years. So I took the lesser of 2 evils.
You're about to say, yeah, you took the lesser one. All right, okay. But we're going Chocolate Thunder. We're going Daryl Dawkins with it.
That's right. Daryl Dawkins, without a doubt. Yeah.
Right.
The original glass shatterer.
Yes, sir. So I'm going to give it to him. That's why I saved his name for last. But if it was up to me, I give a nod to my bad boy Pistons. I'm wearing the Pistons hat right now too. We don't have been right, but I let Daryl Dawkins get it.
Hey, I'll be honest. I did like Edwards better than I liked Mark Eaton. I liked him personally. As a person, I liked him better than Edwards. He was a more entertaining player.
You just don't like who he was affiliated with. That's all. You just don't like the affiliation. And you know what? When we get later into the show, we can revisit this whole basketball situation. We can talk about the affiliations and how people feel about times in the past. It's okay. I'm going to let you have that one. But we can go Daryl Dawkins.
There you go. Hey, while we at it, let's go ahead and get into the stars of the show. And I think everybody should know, if you watched last week's episode, what I'm smoking this week, because this is what I wanted to smoke last week, but we ended up, with a little detour. So I'll go first.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be having this infamous since 1962 Camacho Corojo. Boom.
Let's go with it.
And I'm going to be doing a straight cut on it. And I don't know if I got enough matches. So hopefully I got enough butane. So I'll be doing a regular old light on it today. So we'll see how that work out also.
It's all good. Hey, so I got 2 choices. I want to see what you think. So I had the Monte Cristo in the tuck still waiting to go ahead and smoke that. But I do have some nubs with me today. Should we save the nubs for a nub episode?
Yeah.
Save the nubs?
Yeah, that's my thought. Nub for a nub episode, man. I said,
all right, we'll do it. Cristo. I've been itching to smoke the nubs for the last couple of weeks. I went ahead and grabbed me some nubs, added to my nub stash. I brought out 2 today, a Cameroon wrapper and a Maduro wrapper. We'll save them. But I am.
You got to hit me on the side and let me know which ones you got, so I can try to get something different. So that we can have some variety.
Hey, we'll do that. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to getting to those nubs. We talked about them, and just bringing back that fondness of what the nub is supposed to offer. And I am looking forward to getting back into some nubs, man. So
next episode, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, and you know what I want to do at the episode after that?
What's that?
I want to do like a brick house episode or a Perdomo episode or something like that.
You know what's wild?
We can't go Connecticut though. You know, we got to give them an advantage and go.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Let's lean towards what we usually like, the characteristics that we like in a cigar, even though we're going with cigars that we typically don't like or hate, rather. But yeah, let's give it the best chance, the best shot possible. I'm okay with that. And I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking about revisiting Brick House. Mainly because every time I go to the store and on post on the military installation, what they have as far as cigars for us is Fuente. Some other brand I can never remember the name of. Don't ever smoke them. In Brick House. I'm like, these are the options that you give us? I mean, I appreciate the Fuente. Don't get me wrong. Thank you for having the Fuentes in there. But you give me one brand that I don't favor and then one brand I definitely don't like. And that's in every military store that you will find that sells cigars. Those three. And Brick House is consistent.
I actually want to do Brick House, man. More than Perdomo. I want to do Brick House.
I'll tell you, I haven't smoked a Brick House in over 10 years, man.
Yeah. Let's go for it. I had a Perdomo more recent than a Brick House. So I want to do Brick House.
Nub episode, and after that, Brick House.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm with that.
Say less. Say less. It's gonna be a fun next couple episodes. So I'm ready to go for the ride on that.
Yeah, I'm excited about season 2, man. We doing some dedication episodes. The big boys don't always deserve it. You know what I mean? We gave
sometimes we got.
Yeah,
we gave it to Rocky. We gave Cohiba. Yeah, Oliva. We've done them. You know what I mean? So and, we gave Gurkha. We gave Gurkha episode.
Well, they allegedly the Rolls Royce or whatever they call themselves. You know what I'm saying? We gave them a shot.
Bentley.
Yeah, the Bentley. Yeah, I'm with that. That's more what it is. What kind of cut you going with?
I'm going with a straight cut. I got the torpedo on this. I failed to mention it's a box press torpedo. I'm gonna go with a straight cut. I have matches and I have cedar spills. I don't know if I'm gonna pull out the cedar spills, but I am gonna pull out the matches for sure. And remind you, this is the number 2 cigar of the year in 2021. It's Bandit.
She's sexy looking. So, I got to admit it.
And this is the 1935 anniversary Monte Cristo. Should be a good one. All right, and what I'm pairing with, what should I pair with today? I have some options to pair too. I'm thinking about going brown. Definitely going brown. I have some Hennessy White. I got some Hibiki. And I got some Brandy. And I'm on the fence as far as which one should I go in which direction. I've definitely been back on a brown kick. Since episode 50.
Go Brandy.
Man, oh man. Hey, look.
Yeah.
So far, this might be the most pleasurable first light I've had for a non-flavor cigar.
Yeah.
In huge contrast to last episode, to where my cigar didn't give me anything. Just off the light. I'm getting hit with the abundance of flavors right now. Trying to figure out what I'm getting hit with.
Yeah, me too. Whatever I'm picking up on has some sweetness to it. But there's almost almost like a citrusiness to it also. But not done badly. You know what I'm saying? It's done mild. Pretty smooth, but
light.
Yeah, off the light. Yeah, and I did end up having a little cedar stick that I just hit. I torched the cedar stick, and that thing went up in flames. But I used that to get started. So,
wow. I can't say I've had a more pleasurable first light in a while.
Yeah,
a little pepper, a little pepper on the palate, but a lot of earthy. A lot of good, strong tobacco. but done nicely.
Hey, man, that's what happens, man, when you ride a Rolls Royce. It hit them speed bumps real smooth.
It's real smooth. That's nice. And then the aroma that's coming off of this cigar so far is top notch. All right, off to a good start, Monte Cristo.
What price point?
We haven't even got. Oh, I believe, but this was like maybe like $15. So not super high, but nothing crazy low. Just right there in the middle. I think $13 to $15 is considered like just mid-level pricing. I remember back in the day, 15 used to scare me, but now like 13 to 15, like, all right, that's mid-level. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, inflation.
That's it, right?
Considered. Hey, man, I think we all do a good episode, man. I feel good about what I got, and you feel good about what you got.
Yeah, I'm getting some kick now. I am getting some kick now. So I'm going to pull up my information for this Monte Cristo 1935. Let's see what kind of information we can find about it. So filler, Nicaraguan, binder. Oh, Nicaraguan through and through. Wrapper, country, everything. Everything about this cigar is Nicaraguan all the way through. Strength medium to full. Scored a 92 in Cigar Aficionado. Well, actually, no, this is a 95 rated in 2021. Oh, the points. Okay, I don't know exactly what the points mean as far as the cigar reviews. Somebody going to break down exactly what the points mean. But it's rated a 95, scored a 92 on the Cigar Aficionado reviews.
Cool. All right. Mine, I looked mine up early. It's Honduran, through and through. So I forgot to mention that. So yeah.
All right. So go ahead, going with the brandy. Since you suggested that, have no qualms with that. And you know what? Honestly, I was actually leaning more towards brandy. The weather, I don't know about you. You're a little further south than I am. But this weather has definitely been giving me, I'm thinking that's kind of why I'm leaning towards brandy today. We're getting fall vibes. It's start of summer. It's literally right around the corner. It's not already. Has summer started already? But
June.
It's May. It's May. Late May. And I am getting October vibes. Like pretty much all May. I don't know if it's just this area. But I've been here for what? This would be my third summer here. And I've never noticed it like this before, where it's been this cool this late in the year. Like I'm definitely getting October vibes right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not I don't know. It is kind of weird weather. I wouldn't say October, but it's very cool spring weather for me.
Late September.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool day. It's been some sunny days where it gets a little warm, but it ain't been it ain't letting me know that summer's here yet. You know what I mean? Yeah, it ain't been outrageous. It's been some foggy days along the way, but
hey, could be some effects of the whole global warming thing shifting, ice caps or whatever. I don't know. Hey, I read an article the other day that said 80 years that New York is going to be the modern day Venice.
Did you skim an article or you read an article?
I skimmed it. Okay. I skimmed it.
Okay.
Now it said that New York's going to be underwater and it'll be like a modern
Venice
day
Venice in Italy?
In Italy. You'll have to be rolling up and down the street in New York.
In 80 years?
In 80 years.
It's going to be some violent times in about 60 years then.
I might be here to see it. I might let it be 120.
Well, it depends on technology. I might be around also. You know what I mean? Just depends. If I can afford some of that good technology.
We on the cusp.
The stem cells and all this other stuff.
Look, we are on the cusp of that era. One, we got to usher in all this new technology. And I think with the generation who got to usher it in, we might be that generation who gets to take the benefit of longevity first. We might be that generation when in 40 years from now, when we're late 70s, that we might be able to get a chance to take advantage of the whole technology wave. The way things have been going, the whole AI conversation. Would I do it? I might ponder it.
I don't see. This is the thing, right? I would not want to live for like this extreme amount of time unless I can live at a certain quality of life.
Yeah, so quality of life matters.
If they could take my body and rejuvenate it back to a certain state where I could, be able to enjoy my life, I would do it. But if the technology comes out when I'm 68, and my 68 ain't really a fantastic 68 like some people's,
and I might just do it just sustain.
And I got to sustain at that 68. It's like, nah, I'm cool, man. I just ride it out. I finished the ride.
Hey, look, you got to at least be able to take me back to 35, man. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Take me back to 35. I don't want to feel like 68 and a bad 68 for the next 60 years. Let's not do that.
Right. All right. I'm not with that. If you can guarantee me another 60 years of life, but I'm going to be living at this state and it's not that great, I'm cool, man. We'll just finish this ride and I'll take my chances with coming back if that's really a thing or not. See if those people got it right.
I don't know. I might sustain. If it's if because 68 you can be healthy at 68. Yeah. But if I'm a good 68, yeah, keep me there. Keep me there. Cool with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because where I'm at right now, my knees ain't what they need to be. So my quality of life ain't all that great when it comes to my knees. And I got a whole lot of years left to go with these knees here.
Yeah. Yeah. What if they just gave you the technology today with those knees forever? Like, dang, man, you couldn't restore my knees first before you. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I get I get where you're coming from. But, this is the only unfortunate thing. We're also the guinea pig generation. So what if we were to try it and then we end up with the Benjamin Button? You know what I mean?
You know what's weird?
I don't want the Benjamin Button.
I just watched that movie a couple of weeks ago. Phenomenal movie. Phenomenal concept.
Yeah.
Phenomenal concept. I wouldn't mind it. Give me the Benjamin Button. You might not want it. I'll take it. Give me the Benjamin. Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that.
How quick does the Benjamin last?
As far as what?
If they gave you the Benjamin, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, does it move at the same pace as life moves or does it go at a faster rate? You know what I'm saying?
So by the time I turn 70, we started reversing it. Give me another 70 years, but living in reverse.
Maybe it won't give you 70.
Okay. So the way I'm interpreting what you're saying, I lived to 70. Give me the Benjamin Button. Now I start going backwards. So that means I get to live 69, 68, 67, all the way till I become a baby again. Then I die. I do that.
Right.
I'm okay with that.
No, but I'm saying you do that, right? But at the same time, it's not another 70 years.
70 years.
Let's say it's 20. So your age is going at a much rapid pace. Like, so you breeze through.
I'll take that. Okay, so
you got to think your good years from 30 to about 15 is going to fly. That's gonna be like maybe 2 years. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna experience.
So you mean to tell me you be 70, live another maybe 10, health decline and all of that stuff, and take another 10 years in another direction towards 80, health declining, and taking, say, even if you're 70, went from 70 to 1 in 20 years. Or the same 10 years. You mean you wouldn't take that 10 years growing in the other direction? Get to have your good knees again at some point? Even if it lasts for like 6-7 months. So in the same amount of 10 years to get to 80,
it sounds stressful. It sounds great, but it sounds stressful.
To quickly rejuvenate and then spiral out to be, to an infant state, to where now you're helpless again. You're gonna go there anyway as you age.
I mean, you make a good argument.
I might as well take the journey to feel like I'm 25 again, even if it is for 6 months. A year or 2 years. To feel like I'm in my 30s again for another year. Come on,
when you put it that way, it sounds good, man. But it sounds so stressful when I think about it. Like, man, I'm going to be breathing through these times. Think about what your body's going to be. Growing pains. You talk about growing pains. You're going to be aching, going to reverse and shrinking and getting younger and slowly getting more immature. But it's going to be fun, though, man. I'm going to be knocking off, man, like crazy during some of them years. I'm going to be knocking off like crazy.
Just like Benjamin Button.
Hey, man, this ain't going to last long. Yeah, this ain't going to last long. Better get it in.
Or you can live until 80 and you won't have that functionality. Come on now. Give me a Benjamin Button.
Okay. Do I stay married when I get to these younger years, or do I...
It's your choice.
Does that null and void my marriage once I get past the age I was originally married?
You got the option.
Because I don't want to be 20 and youthful and now she 75 and I'm just stuck with her. I'm in my prime again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're like, Jared, leave me alone. I'm too old for this. Hey, I'm ready to go. Let's roll.
I'm ready to go. Hey, I'm about to go hit these streets.
And you ain't
gonna know I'm missing anyway. You ain't got no energy to argue.
You ain't got no energy.
She's gonna be too old to understand technology. I'm gonna be hip on technology again.
Give me the Benjamin Button.
I'll be able to be a scum bucket behind her back. She never know. Like, all right,
how do I track what he's doing? And how to work this phone?
Right.
Especially where the technology gonna go. You'll be privy to all of that. You'll have the mind for it.
Yeah.
Give me the Benjamin Button. Plus, check this out. Plus, you'll have not only the mind as you rejuvenate your mind and learning new things as you get older. Like how they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You have the tricks and the things and information that you learn all the way up until 70. And then now as you're growing backwards, your mind is rejuvenating. You can add on to the information that you already know. Be a killer.
I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if that's going to happen like that. See, you got to lose all that.
You think you'll start forgetting?
You got to go become more immature. Yeah.
Yeah, you might become immature, but it'll take a while.
Experience is some of it, but at the same time, just maturity to be able to use the experience. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I got all this experience, but I'm too... You know how childhoods and adulthoods work. We got a whole theory on this, man. You lose all that experience when you enter a childhood at points in times, man. Like,
but it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while for it to get there, though. It'll take a while.
I don't know.
Take advantage of it while you can. Give me the Benjamin Button. Sign me up.
Give you the Benjamin.
So technology, tech. What do they call them? Whoever you guys are who are inventing AI and all of this great stuff. Sign me up when I get older. Come find me. I'll take it.
All right, I'm with you. Hey, you know,
I don't know if I should put that invitation out there like that.
I know they're going to come test on you. You're going to be a cyborg before you know it.
You in the military for about 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, come back like, something's a little different about him. Like, yeah.
Right.
I got cloned.
Yeah, like Agent Denzel was down for it. There he goes. He's the prototype XXYY321. Like,
all right, wait. Okay. For y'all, let's talk about it first, okay, guys? Before y'all come get me, let's talk about it first.
Too late. It's gonna be in your next contract. Shoot.
My phone already heard me. It's all right. It's all right.
Right. We got a verbal agreement from him already. He signed up. So get this right. You know how you touched on the idea of like being the first people to actually experience something. Somebody said something recently to me, and I meant to mention this to you. This is interesting, right? They were talking about Michael Jackson. And then, you know, of course, they acknowledged the Beatles and Elvis. But they were like, Michael Jackson is the first person, along with the Beatles and Elvis, the first people in history to ever really deal with fame and on that level. No other human beings in all of history really had to deal with being famous on that level, on a worldwide level. Everybody knows you. It was like a whole new phenomenon for them. Like, of course, there's people that's famous, but then there's Michael Jackson famous. You know what I'm saying? There's Beatles famous. And when was there enough technology in history for the whole world to know who you are, know your face, recognize you, and you can't go anywhere? And then we wonder why these people were so weird, but they're dealing with something no other man in history ever had to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I mean, I never thought of it like that. Because the first thing you said when you said, well, Michael Jackson's the first person, like, and I'm thinking, okay, well, whoever had Michael Jackson level of stardom? Nobody, even still to this day. I don't think anybody has Michael Jackson level of celebrity. Yeah. That level of stardom is outrageous. And then to have had that in the 80s, early 90s, where nobody had the data. Nobody had the data on how to deal with it. Like now we kind of have the data, like as it's becoming more in with social media and like you spoke about, is more of a common thing to where you can do something, go viral, even be on a small level and still be recognized and noticed all over the world because you've done something that went viral. So you see you in every country. But then,
and because we see you on our phones every day, you've come into our homes in a sense, so we feel like we know you. So a lot of the fame doesn't get to the point where people are falling out no more and crying like it used to be. Like,
yeah. Like he was really,
we're more connected to our celebrities now than ever.
A mythological person. So if you actually got a chance to see him and be in the same room with them, people would fall out. And nobody had the data on how to deal with that. Now we have the data on how to deal with it more so because it's more of a common thing. You know, your regular celebrities are now known throughout the world. Their likeness, their face, and who they are, and their personality. It can be seen and displayed anywhere in the world now. So it's more common now. So we have more data on how to deal with it. And even then, celebrities are still finding a hard time dealing with it. So I can only imagine to be in the 80s and technology not being what it is and not enough people having that level of stardom. I mean, you've had people who were famous and they were superstars and they traveled different countries and they were recognized, but not to that level. Yeah. Not to that level. Like even the Beatles, like you said, you mentioned the Beatles. I don't even think the Beatles hit that level. Not that level.
Hard to say.
You know what I mean?
They were close, if not. If they didn't hit,
they were probably close.
They were the next closest.
I'm pretty sure they were close. But that level?
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing anybody fall out from the Beatles. I don't remember anybody
ain't our culture either, though. But yeah,
I mean, true. It ain't our culture, but I haven't seen any
Europeans.
Footage.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I haven't. Well, show me the footage. If anybody's passed out from a Beatles handshake, I want not even a handshake, just being front row at their show.
I see people chasing them and stuff like that, but you know,
you see people chase them. People chase Bow Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So chasing, but ain't nobody passed out from Bow Wow.
Yeah,
and I'm not down in Bow Wow, and I'm not down in or putting the Beatles on Bow Wow's level or Bow Wow on the Beatles level. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying I haven't seen anybody pass out from meeting a Beatle. But Michael Jackson can walk by somebody and they passed out. Yeah. So like when you speak of and saying that level of stardom, yeah, you're right. And not having the data on how to deal with that, you can only imagine what he had to go through, what he was going through mentally. I mean, it's easier for us to look back or look at him and scrutinize how he conducted himself in certain ways and his like why it's kind of weird. But his circumstance was weird. Very unorthodox life.
His circumstance was the only individual. Let's put it that way. He was the only individual having those circumstances in all history of humanity. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's incredible that he dealt with it. You know, we all laughed at him about how he behaved, but in reality, no man in history ever walked in his shoes.
True.
Not one.
And still won't. Even if somebody reaches, like say like Kanye, who's reached a high level of stardom too, he's recognized worldwide too. But the difference is he has more data on how to deal with or what to expect than Michael Jackson had, 30 years prior, 40 years prior. 50 years prior.
Right.
So it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. Never thought of it that way. And I was like, you know what? The world was very unfair to Michael. Michael dealt with something nobody else could tell him how to deal with what he was going through, nor truly understand it. No matter how much you think you understand it logically, you'll never really get what that man was going through.
Yeah,
and then you add giving up your childhood on top of that, and all these other things.
True.
Shout out to Ghost.
Let me ask you this: do you feel like celebrities now, should they receive a certain level of sympathy that we would now give MJ? Do you think they deserve a certain level of sympathy?
They do, but at the same time, everybody's, like you say, everybody's coping with it. There's a dude on Facebook that's coping with that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
and he don't ever leave his closet where he records stuff at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is what it is, man. Everybody's figuring it out. It's just on a different level, but he's the originator, the OG of really dealing with that on a high level, and probably never be on that level again, because we're all getting so familiar with our celebrities, and our celebrities are bringing us into their personal world. Like we always talk about the days when celebrities, they were mythical because you couldn't see them. Now they're in my pocket every day, and I can see what you had for lunch yesterday.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I can see hanging out with your kids on the beach.
And if you aren't accessible, are you truly a celebrity now? Like, because now if you're not accessible, you just fall off. We stop thinking about you. You know what I'm saying? Right. Oh, I haven't seen that artist posting forever. I guess they done fell off. Yeah. On to the next one.
Right.
That's how we treat our celebrities now. Before, if you got missing for 2 years and you came back, explosion. Yo.
Yeah.
Such and such is back. For you. Yeah, it was a thirst for you. Now it's like if you don't show up, we forget about you.
Yeah. Correct. Hey man, you want to get into these halfway reviews?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it. Let me go first. I'm ready to go first. Because even while we were talking, I'm sitting back here thinking about this is one of those cigars that you get to that point. I think we spoke about it last week. As far as like you get to that point of the cigar, you look at that cigar like I'm having that experience, and I was having that experience even while we were talking. Like, man, this cigar's gotten good. It's gotten good. Like it hit there. All those flavors was coming out at once, and all of a sudden it smoothed out. That pepper smoothed out, the flavor smoothed out, and those characteristics are just really settling in. Same thing I was getting before. That earth, some oaks come out, a little bit of cocos come out too, which I love. Some cedar aroma. I didn't even use the cedar sticks. Like it smells in this atmosphere like I used cedar sticks, and I did not. Just use the match, and that's the vibe I'm getting, and I love that. So that's where I'm at. So getting through that first third, just about to tap the end of and get to that second, and I'm very, very excited to see where it's going to go. But so far so good on this.
Okay. For me, it is it's a mild stick. It is that I told you there's a citrus that I'm picking up on that I still hadn't quite figured out. And there's a woodiness that I'm picking up on it. It is a very smooth cigar, but it's supposed to be smooth as a mild stick. And I have heard people say that they pick up on this before, but I never picked up on this in a cigar personally until I was retroing on this right here, retrohelling on this. Licorice. I'm picking up on something very licorice-like. But I'm not a huge licorice guy either, though. So that does not work in this cigar's favor for me, per se. But those are the things I'm picking up on this stick so far. But it's easy going stick.
Okay. All right, so before we move on from that, when you say easy going, because last week I believe we both had easy going sticks. Yeah. Easy going in a notch above what we described last week? Or in the same vein? Because that to me,
but I was less upset with mine than you were with yours. but they're in that same vein. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay. Because like for me, the standpoint that I would have, like just off that description, you had me on the fence of, man, I want to try that. But then you said, maybe not. Maybe that's a cigar I'd pass on.
Yeah.
You would have just going off of what you're describing right now. I was like, nah, miss me with that one. But if it's just, just it could be something that steer me either way off that description.
Yeah. Well, it's something that Denzel 10 years ago would have bragged to me about. I don't know if you would brag to me about it today.
Right.
And I also don't know that you would dislike it necessarily today. It would be, you probably would be on the fence. Like, it's cool, which is what it is.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. All right.
It's not a bad stick. I'm not enjoying my experience. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. But like we talked about, we enjoy a little more complexity, which is probably what you have with that Monte Cristo, which is why you being wild. And I have a less complex stick, but it's cool.
All right.
I can't talk bad about it necessarily. You know what I'm saying? But I can't praise it to the cigar gods either, though. You know what I mean? So like, as of yet, but once again, I could jump into this second, third, last third, and the world can change. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that's what I expect from it, but we'll see.
All right. Hey, let's keep riding.
So, speaking of continuing to ride, we'll come on, Ricky. Get your head in the game, man. You over there coughing.
I had exhaled and then I had breathed right into where I exhaled. So I blew all the smoke out and then brought it right back in. Rookie move. Don't do that. Yeah, if you blow the smoke out that way, don't turn your head to where you blew the smoke out at.
No, that is a losing battle. You will lose every time. God did not create you to win that battle. But with that being said, you said we're gonna revisit some stuff earlier in the show.
Yeah. Oh yes.
It's time to revisit it. So, let's say this. You sent me something and you said, look at the comments. And it was in the comments, it was people making an argument for Mr. LeBron James and it's playoff season and they just got swept on up out of there. And LeBron is even considering retirement at this point in time. And some of his fans were leaving comments to the effect that Michael Jordan was trash. They used the word trash to describe a man whose nickname was Air.
Nickname was Air that Larry Bird called him. What do you say? God in tennis shoes or something or whatever.
Black Jesus is what they call
Black
him.
Jesus. Right.
Yeah.
So you go from that to now fans of basketball, fans of a particular basketball player calling, to me, the GOAT trash is a word even the people who hated him the most. And I was one of them. As a Pistons fan, I despise Michael Jordan. But as time went and as I saw more, I couldn't deny the man's talent and say that what I was watching and witnessing was not greatness. I had to throw in the towel and put my hands up and say, no, that's greatness. That's greatness. Even as somebody who was a strong opposition to the man and his team.
Right.
Trash is nothing that ever came out of my mouth to say that player is trash. But the way that history is being rewritten, I'm having a hard time with history being rewritten in a sense as we're getting so far removed and people are making their comments and having their commentary. And it scares me, right? Because now you're going to have a generation of impressionable individuals who are growing up and they're reading these comments because we're social media heavy. So they're going to see these comments and like, oh, Michael Jordan was trash. And the more people say that, as history goes farther and further away from his retirement and his heyday, and the game of basketball changes. So those two effects together, the way the game is changing, plus the commentary, they're going to look back and say, nah, the Bulls wasn't all that in their 6 championships in the 90s. And it was a fluke, blah, 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 blah. this guy is trash. And then you got his teammate, I sent you, speaking on saying that MJ wasn't a good player and he was a horrible teammate. He might have been a hard teammate, but you can't be a teammate of this guy and say he was. The man literally said Jordan was not a good player.
Terrible teammate is what he said.
A terrible teammate. And then he said before he got on the team.
No, terrible player is what he said. Yeah, he was a terrible player.
Yeah. He called him a terrible player before he got to the Bulls. Then when he became a teammate, he was a terrible teammate. So the commentary there, the comments and this and that, and we're getting so far removed, the impressionable minds looking at things and the history being rewritten. I'm definitely afraid of that.
I don't. If Jordan is trash, I mean, 99, 100% of the league is trash.
Had to be trash.
I can't even say 99. 100% of the league is trash because I've never seen nothing greater than him in shorts. Like, you know what I'm saying, on the court.
And you know what? And like I'm seeing more and more of that, right? As people are bringing up his competition. They talk about Mark Price and Danny Ainge and Bird and McHale and all these guys, you know, of a certain skin hue and they playing style.
White guys like these white dudes today ain't whooping they behind just like them white dudes back in the day won't getting off.
Talk about the Joker, right? Like if you look at the Joker, Jokic, and you look at his skill set and how he plays the game, he looks like those players from back in the day. He looks like a McHale. He looks like a Kevin McHale. He plays like a Kevin McHale, but he's unstoppable, right?
Yeah.
So they want to rewrite history and say, he had to play up against this guy. Look at how he's dribbling the ball. Look at his look at his Euro step, which wasn't a Euro step back in the day. Or look at this man's look at his hezzy. And that was trash. Look at it. But for what it was back in the day, you know, with the rules the way they were, them dudes had game.
That's how you had to play. Right.
That's how you had to play. And they played within the confines of the rules, right? It was no traveling, free steps like we're giving people nowadays, right? The flopping and the way that the game is played now. But then you got somebody who plays just the way certain players played in the 70s and 80s, early 90s, and giving people the business.
Yeah.
But then we rewrite history and say, look at Jordan's competition.
Yeah,
it was unathletic.
Guess what though? They're gonna do the same thing with these guys. When some new guy comes along and becomes the new LeBron, they're gonna do that to LeBron and say, look at all those white dudes LeBron played against. They were trash. LeBron was trash. Y'all gonna eat all these words that you trying to give to someone else's era, your era, and you're gonna be defending it. But you're gonna have less of an argument because your guy ain't Jordan. He was chasing Jordan. 23.
You know what gets me too? You know what gets me too?
6 is, no, I'm sorry. What was Jordan's number in the Olympics? It was 6 or 9. I'm sorry. I could have
9. Wrong. It was 9. He was 9 in the Olympics.
Yeah.
But check this out, dude. Like, when they talk about the athleticism and saying, man, the game has changed and the players are better today than they were before. They might be more athletic than they were before, right? They might be more athletic. But if you look at the players who were the most athletic in the last, let's say 20 years, how many of those ultra athletic players got championships?
That's what I'm saying.
Don't have a championship. Derrick Rose don't have a championship. I say John Morant already, didn't I? He don't have a championship. Westbrook don't have a championship.
Right.
Super athletic players. Blake Griffin don't got no championship. One of the most athletic. Vince Carter ain't got no championship. And it doesn't get more athletic than those individuals there. So yes, players are coming in more athletic than they were before. But then now you got this man who is not athletic, but giving them the business. You got somebody who wasn't athletic in the Tim Duncan. How many ships do he got?
Greatest power forward of all time. Larry Legend. Not athletic at all.
Not athletic. So we confuse athleticism with greatness in basketball acumen.
Yeah.
That athleticism doesn't always translate to chips and winning. Michael Jordan had both. LeBron has both. You know what I'm saying? But we look back and we try to say, well, look at the competition that Jordan that LeBron's going up against and all these athletic guys that he's had to go up against versus what Jordan had to go up against. Just because they're not athletic as the players that LeBron's going up against, and LeBron just got swept by an unathletic superstar.
Yeah.
So let's rewrite this history that we're rewriting. Let's look at it all.
Yeah, man. Hey, and look, man, and yeah, it's a combination of athleticism helps, but it's a lot of factors of what makes up a great player. IQ being most important. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you
AI was athletic. AI don't got no chip. As much as we love AI.
Out of this world athleticism, no chip. Because a lot of these athletic players are relying on their athleticism more than having a high IQ on the court. You know what I mean? Like that's why you be able to get a Larry Legend to be what he was, because Bird had an IQ. You know, they compensated for athleticism. Same thing with Duncan. Jordan happened to have both. You get a guy like Kobe Bryant. Kobe was athletic, but Kobe won't like crazy athletic. He relied on a lot of IQ also.
And when he was at his best, in my opinion, and he won without Shaq, it wasn't the athleticism that got him those chips. It was
gone.
The IQ.
It was gone at that point. Yeah,
the IQ got him those chips. At that point. You know, and that was the best version of Kobe. Honestly, you know, early Kobe was good, but would early Kobe have won without Shaq? Probably not. No. It took later Kobe that had its more cerebral.
Kobe for 81. You know what I'm saying? Let's be clear about it.
Yeah, not athletic Kobe.
Right.
So we got to stop. I say we, but when I say we, I mean they. They got to stop with this rewriting of history and telling this skewed vision of the game and competition and skill set. For people to actually use the strong word of trash to somebody who is considered the greatest of all time. Like, I would never call LeBron trash, even though LeBron is my number 2. I say LeBron definitely a number 2 greatest player in the history of basketball. I would never open my mouth to call him trash. Yeah, has he had some trash moments? Yeah. Has Michael Jordan had trash moments? Yeah. Everybody's human. But you look at the totality of everything, come on. Trash is never a word that you would use to describe somebody of that magnitude.
Nah, not at all, man. I think people are really getting caught up with the stats, man. People are getting caught up with the stats. And in our era, we would be impressed by a triple-double, but stats weren't really my go-to thing to prove how great a player was.
And it couldn't be. It couldn't be. You know, if you look at my Pistons in the early 2000s, it wasn't about stats. You know what I'm saying? Well, the scores in a lot of those games were 80-69.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We prided ourselves, the Pistons, Bad Boys too, on holding teams under 70 points.
Yeah.
You ain't putting up 2 players ain't putting up 40 points a night on a team like they're doing now. Now you have 2 players, 2 superstars on teams. One's putting up 40, one's putting up 34. Teams weren't scoring but 69 points against the Pistons. A whole team of 12.
Right.
So it's just the fact that the way the game was played back in the day and now versus now, that even like your best player on a lot of those teams, you know, for them to score 25 was a lot. That was a big number. Now players are scoring 25 in one quarter.
Right.
Just because of the way the game is played. So you can't look at all the stats because, of course, there's going to be more assists. You put up more shots, there's going to be more rebounds. You know, you pick the tempo of the game up, you're scoring 120 points a game before the third quarter is over, you're already over 100 points. Of course, people are going to have more points. Of course, people are going to have more triple-doubles just because of the way the game is played now. So now you're going to have padded stats. You're going to have more stats, more opportunities to get to get more rebounds, more opportunity to get more assists, opportunity to get more points. You're going to get more triple-doubles.
But so none of this is a reflection in the effort put in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, let me say this also. as a compliment to LeBron, because I was thinking about this about LeBron recently. You look at this guy, right? Here's my compliment to him. He's a guy who came in the league as a playmaker. That was his game. Right. He was always forced into playing a game that wasn't his. And he played where the game was influenced and changed multiple times throughout his career, and he had to adapt to it. So as he came in as a playmaker, and he truly was more Magic than Jordan, which is what we always said about him in 2003 and 04 and 05 and 06. And then they started getting on him for not having the killer instinct, and he had to try to become more of a scorer when he would have been more of a passer and getting his within the flow of the game. He adjusted. Then the game became more, so then he had to also become a scorer where he was more of a playmaker. Then he gave up on that. Then he had to become more of a shooter somewhere along the line. And then it became a 3-ball game. And then he started trying to becbecome that, so we never truly got the best version of who he is at his purest form as a player. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
Because he never got to really build on who he really was, his real identity as a player.
The league never stayed still long enough for him to settle into one particular style of play,
which would have been true to who he really wanted to be as a player. He always had which also is a knock against him because his imprint didn't keep the game where it was at. All these other people kept coming in and changing the game. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I never thought about that. Even
so his compliment is a knock against him.
So, compliment for him for being able to adjust with the way the league changed several times. But then at the same time, he never changed the game.
No, he just changed as everybody else changed it. So
wow. I never thought about that. Jordan changed the game.
He changed it. The shooting guard was not a prominent position in Jordan's era until post-Jordan. Now we care about the shooting guard. 2 guard didn't matter before him. Now, with this, even the LeBron gets a knock about the super team thing, and he really didn't create the super team thing himself.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He gets a knock for it, but he adjusted to it. Shout out to him for that.
Yeah.
And he gets credit for playing against the greatest super team ever, which is supposed to be the Warriors with Durant. But even that, is that really a super team? They drafted everything they got but KD. I would say when they added KD, you can kind of say it was a super team. But they made one trade.
Super team, they made one trade and only acquired one superstar, which is every team is doing that now. It's nothing to acquire one superstar. And would you say that Clay was truly a superstar?
Was he? What's his name? What's my man name? The power forward. I can't even think his name. Draymond. It's really Draymond. Draymond all time legendary.
Yeah. Steph Curry, superstar. Clay, all-star. He wasn't a superstar. Never was. They just a huge threat with a great skill set.
The Warriors was every team from the past. A superstar, all-star, and a competent player who is, almost all-star level, but not quite there.
And hardest all of the team. Yeah, you're right.
Every team had that. Look at your Pistons, your bad boys. Isaiah was the superstar. Dumars was the all-star. And then you had either Mikal or Rodman, whoever you choose to give as that competent player who was at the threshold almost crossing over. Like, that was it. Jordan, superstar. Pippen, all-star. Horace Grant, competent player who's at that threshold. Trade Horace Grant out, slide in Dennis Rodman, competent third man. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, same thing. That's why NBA Jam was the way it was. You had 2 all-stars, and then that one guy you could have switched out and made as your third option. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Wow.
Charles Barkley, superstar. KJ, all-star. And then Dan Marley, competent player. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did back in the day. So,
I like the way you broke it down.
Warriors is old school basketball. They get too much credit for being a super team. They were just an old school team.
I like
Tim Duncan. Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullin. If we go back to old school Warrior, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when Webber came, Webber didn't play with Timmy, did he?
No, he did. For a couple of years. Play. Yep. He sure did.
Timmy, Webber, Mullin. You know what I'm saying? Mullin. 3 players. They always had 3 players on the team. That was 3 solid players. Because they were winning, we held them up in this high regard because they won with those 3 players. But those 3 players is just normal. It's old school basketball.
Hey, I gotta applaud you for that. Nice breakdown. Man.
Nothing special. They ain't no super team like that. They get too much.
And then also, like when I mentioned that LeBron didn't change the game, and a lot of people try to credit him for creating the super team idea, and that was happening before him.
Give credit. I give more credit to Boston for that.
He adjusted to the idea of super teams. He adjusted to it. It's just Boston, the fact that a lot of people
said, "Let me go get a Boston team." Is what he did.
Yeah. So that's again LeBron adjusting. So kudos to him for recognizing what you need to do in order to continue to build on your legacy in this in the ever changing
climate.
Yeah, climate of the league. But he didn't change it. He didn't change it in that regard as far as the whole super team idea.
Yeah.
Good point.
He gets too much either credit or flack for that stuff. You know what I'm saying? However you want to put it. LeBron is the most adaptable player in the history of the league, but he ain't the groundbreaker. He ain't groundbreaker to nothing other than the fact he was a giant man who could jump out the gym. Like, that's the only thing groundbreaking he was his fit, his stature was groundbreaking.
I was gonna say, like, he himself was groundbreaking. He himself was groundbreaking, but how he played the game, his approach to the game wasn't necessarily groundbreaking.
He was Magic Johnson 2.0. Like,
just adjusting to the way the game is being played. But even then, you can never call that man trash. So
no.
LeBron fans, LeBronites, or whatever you want to call them, just wait, give it 10, 15 years, they'll be doing the same thing to LeBron that they're doing to Jordan now.
We're way more ammo, unfortunately.
And I'll hate to see it when it happens.
Because I'm going to be honest, Jordan had about as perfect as a career as you can have in the league. Being realistic, it's very hard to have a great career in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have too much talent, especially during the time that Jordan did it. Like, it's very difficult to do what he did. And he almost had is about as perfect as you can get. Not a perfect career, because there's always things you can nitpick on. Oh, when he came in, he was this. He didn't know how to pass the ball, and he was selfish, and he couldn't get past the Celtics. He couldn't get past the Pistons. He won't supposed to get past the Celtics. He won't supposed to get past the Pistons. These are all-time franchises. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and they were already bubbling when he came in. They were already bubbling when he came in.
And he was trying to figure the league out.
So the thing is, he had to go through his process of bubbling into it too. Same thing with LeBron. And I hate when people do that and they say, well, Jordan's first. How many years did it take for LeBron to win his first championship? My bad boys Pistons was busting they behind. The Bulls back in the day when they had who was that squad? They had Ben Gordon and all them boys running them out the gym too. They was having a hard time in the East in the early 2000s. Yeah. They was having a hard time in the East. The Pacers was them boys out in the Ron Artest Pacers. Them boys out of here.
Yeah,
LeBron was not. The Cavs was not having it against them boys early on in LeBron's career. He won his first chip win, he went to the finals for the first time. When 09 was it 09? So 2010 he came in. He came in the league in 03, 6-7 years to finally get to that pinnacle. Same with Jordan.
But didn't win. And lost with a super team.
And lost with a super team.
A real super team. A legit super team. You know what I'm saying? Like, not a drafted team, like a legit super team. LeBron was a part of several legit super teams. You know what I'm saying? But he couldn't get it done when it was not one, but two, but three. It sounds like I'm taking a dump on him, but I'm not. I'm just saying there's more ammo against him. But in fairness, he was supposed to go through a maturation period. Yeah, even with that super team, they were supposed to go through a maturation period. So Jordan, they hold that against him like he wasn't supposed to go through it. But once he got there, he got it done. Yes, okay. Magic wasn't the best version of the Magic, and the Lakers weren't the best version of themselves when they got there. They still got out the West. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the best the West had at the time. Like, and they were a legitimate franchise. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Still. So, I mean, it is what it is.
You're right. No arguments there. No arguments there. Like, when you pull it all back together, just like they're doing with Jordan, and they're looking at things in the vacuum, 20 years later, well, 30 years later now, 30 years later, they're going to do the same thing with LeBron. And you can break down when his super team went up against Dallas and laid an egg.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all better be careful, man. Y'all arguing some points. Y'all arguing some weak points. Now, we all acknowledge the man is great, but it's just hard. Stop putting him up against Jordan. Like, because the argument is going to lose when history is all written. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Right now, it feels good because you a prisoner of the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But me and Denzel, we look like old heads arguing for Jordan. in reality, we watched both in full context. We watched Jordan's career. We watched it play out. We saw it in real time. We were in the moment. We got to feel the energy around the moment. We got to see the hype around it. We got to watch it live. So it's not out of context. We're within the context of the moment. We got to do the same thing for LeBron's career. And now we get to assess it and make our viewpoint on it.
Yeah. And people don't realize how much of a dog team he had to go up against when he went up against the Pacers and had to win that chip to go to the finals against the Jazz. That Pacers squad, what 97 was a dog of a team. A dog of a team. And see how long Reggie Miller, that squad stayed relevant, because guess what? From they'll make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and Jordan beat them to go play the Jazz in 97. Reggie Miller was still on the Pacers when they went to the NBA Eastern Conference Finals to play against my team, the Pistons, in 2003.
Yeah. Exactly. So that team was still giving people problems. They was a great team, man. They just couldn't get over the hill. But they was fantastic.
They were fantastic.
And see, that's the thing, man. Like, when people, this is why this is really a stupid argument, because people are really making us argue over 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? And in reality, when people from our age group and older who watch both eras look at it and we all say, hey, man, Jordan was better. We watched them both. And the fact that we still watch LeBron's career in totality and live in context of it, and we said, hey, man, that's the second greatest thing I ever seen in my life.
Right.
That's a compliment. You know what I'm saying? It's just not better than something else I've seen. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've seen better, but daggone, that's the second best thing I ever seen. That's props, man. Why you want to keep hearing people say that it's the best when it's not? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Second best is great. Because we all watch Kobe Bryant, and I really, in fairness, could say that's the second best if I wanted to, and it wouldn't be nothing wrong with me saying that. But I think Kobe's not the second best thing I've seen. I'll give it to LeBron. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree. I have no arguments there. And I hope that, like you said, people don't look at it like, just two old heads talking about about the heyday of basketball, which wasn't that great in the 90s. Oh, this is what you call great defense and great offense? Come on. Context of the moment. Everything is going to look a little skewed and a little different years removed from the moment. Just like today is going to look skewed 10 years from now. And you look back at the moment like, man, what were they talking about? LeBron and that team wasn't nothing. He lost against who? He lost against the Spurs? Look at the Spurs. They ain't had nobody athletic on that team. The most athletic person on the team was Tony Parker.
Was the best athletic. No, Ginobili probably the most athletic. You know what I'm saying?
Might have been Ginobili over
was the best, most athletic player. Yeah, and he came off the bench. So like, you know what I'm saying? And you lost to them. Yeah,
he lost to Dirk. He lost to Dirk Nowitzki. That's the best they had on their team.
Now we gonna play the race thing. Your boy lost to Dirk. Now you know what I'm saying. If we gonna do the whole white boy thing, Jordan mopped his white boys up. You know what I'm saying. So like when he got him to the finals, you lost to yours. If we gonna do that, but once again, they gonna look at us like old heads arguing for their era. But in reality, let's be honest, Bron is our age, so this is our era. We're really arguing for an era prior to ours.
You're right.
We being honest,
because we was in college when he came into the league, so he's right there with us. As every day of his career, we were right there lockstep with his career.
We were freshmen in college when he came in the league. His high school year. LeBron is 38 now. You know what I'm saying? I'm a few months older than LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? You like 3 years older than him. But other than that, okay. Yeah.
A year.
You a year older than him. You a year older. Yeah. But with that being said, this is our era. This is the end of our era. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's the young boys era at this point. Because
you can technically say 2000 to now is more our era than 80s, 90s.
Correct. Now look at it from that point of view. So we're really arguing for an era that's not ours, but we watched it. We watched it live. It was just more impressive. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm right there with you. But yeah, man. So where we at with these sticks, man?
Man. See, this
I don't even know if you puffed your
show matters.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know if you, once we got into this conversation, I don't know if you puffed your stick much at all.
I didn't pick it back up. Once we got into this talk. So the last 20 minutes, I haven't puffed it. So with that being said, my opinion hasn't changed very much.
Check out the after review. We will have those up this week.
Yeah, man. There is a segment, man. There's content that exists but hasn't been posted, man. It's the after reviews for these shows, man. And I'll try to get this Camacho Corojo reviewed in that. But as of now, everything I said about it before, if you made it this far in the show, you heard what I said already at the midway review. I haven't smoked much since then. I hate that I have to give it an answer based off of my midway where I was at, because I know this second, third, if this stick is any good, it's going to change. And it would have been probably some improvements at that point in time.
Okay.
But for now, I'm going to...
Gonna give it a rating?
On a scale from 1 to 5, I'm going to go 3.7.
Under that 4. What? It's fair. It's fair. It's fair for where you are right now.
Yeah, and it's over 3 is in the dead center average. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's if you closer to 4 than 3, that means I think highly of you. I just don't think the world of you. You know what I'm saying? And that's my point of view. If you get over 3.5, you're a good stick. You know what I'm saying? You're a good stick. You more than above average if you at a 3.5. But
yeah, you in the humidor. You're not gonna look at it and be like, nah, and walk past it, right? You look at him like,
no.
But not today.
Yeah, you a B student if you get a 3.7. You know what I'm saying? You a B.
Yeah,
you a B student. You had like an 83, 85 on your report card, and that'll get you by. Your mama won't whoop you for that. She might want you to step it up a little bit, but she ain't gonna whoop you for that. You know what I mean?
There you go. All right, I'm with you. All
at least my mama. Some of y'all mamas will be proud of y'all for 83 old dumb selves.
Like, ooh, you gotta be. My baby gotta be.
Yeah, shoot. Some of y'all mamas put that on the refrigerator. My mama would have been mad at me for 83.
He's like, well, good job, but you can do a lot better. All right, so I'm gonna go into this Monte Cristo then. This is where I'm at with it. We're right in the middle of the second third, and did not disappoint going into the second third. Full smoke throughout, which I love. Nice thick smoke. Y'all saw me choke on it for a minute. That's just the thing. If you have a thick smoke, let the smoke clear before you inhale and start talking into it. All right. But yeah, that's what happens when you got a full body smoke, which I do love about it. A lot of creaminess came into that second third, which I really enjoyed. I had to relight, and the relight didn't disappoint. No harshness, no bitterness, even on relighting. I love everything it hit me with in the very beginning. If I would smoke the stick for any reason, is to get that feeling I got in that very first few puffs, and I'm satisfied. You know, just off that first light, that first few puffs, once all those things kind of just settled in and mellowed out and just got good, and I got to that point of like, man, it's a good cigar. And I got there early in the first third, which we usually don't get there to the second third. Really good structured cigar. Good journey. Nice journey. I enjoyed the journey up until this point, and I have no doubts, and we'll see it on the review, of where the cigar goes from this point forward. Up to this point, I'm going to give this cigar a 4.3. 4.3. I almost want to give it a 4.5, but I'm like, okay, unfair to give it to where it's at. So I'm feeling like it can get to a 4.5. But right now I'm going to say 4.3. I'm going to say 4.3. I really enjoyed this Monte Cristo.
Hey, man, that sounds like that's a good stick, man. And, you know, I believe that. Monte Cristo, one of them brands like that. They like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I think Monte Cristo might be able, if I have a few more experiences like this, Monte Cristo can make my top 5. It'd be tough. It'd be tough to take somebody out of that top 5, but it can make a strong case to be a top 5 stick in my stash.
Hey, brother, I don't be shocked if Monte Cristo hit the list in 2024 when we do the top 5 again.
All right, yeah, we need to make this an annual thing.
I thought about them, but I said it's unfair for me to do it because I got some Bohemians I got a lot more experience with.
Yeah,
but Monte Cristo, I considered it, you know. So
yeah, give me a few more experiences like this. You can make my top 5, Monte Cristo. You can definitely make my top 5. So I will be checking them out and seeing what other sticks hit this vein, and I will be picking them up, and I'm going to be looking to go into a Monte Cristo journey, because this made a strong case to say, hey, if you got more in the tuck like this, you can be a top 5. You can be a Burning Cigar top 5.
That's what it is. All right, y'all. Well, shoot, that was the Daryl Dawkins episode 53. We appreciate y'all for tuning in this week to everything. What's the name of the show? Cigars and Everything Else podcast?
Everything else.
Right. Yeah. Hey, y'all keep them sticks up. We out.
Cigars up.